In this room, women who thought they stood alone stand together, shared experiences of struggle and triumph. Anaya Fares knows struggle all too well. Her family fled Angola during the Civil War in the 90s. They landed in Canada.
It was hard, especially because we moved around a lot as well. It was difficult to get any stability or any roots.
At 11, Anaya's parents separated. Her mother left the country and placed her in the care of friends. But things didn't work out.
I remember 2 weeks before I went into care, I was sitting in a park. I was crying and I looked up and I said, I need my life to change. And 2 weeks later, I landed in my foster mom's home. And she was everything I could ask for in a mother.
Hey.
Sandra Davis has fostered more than 100 kids.
I remember thinking my heart broke because, you know, she was all alone and she didn't have anybody. Are you making yourself eggs?
For the next 2 years, Anaya thrived under Sandra's care. Her grades improved and she finally found home.
I'm here to provide them a safe place for them to be and help them on their journey.
And just to see how even they accepted me. It was a time that I really, really grew into myself.
Work.
But home didn't last long. At 17, Anaya was aged out of the system. That same year, she learned her biological mother passed away.
Like I had to go back to my very difficult life of, you know, figuring out about the roof over my head.
After some tough years battling depression and homelessness, Anaya finished school and landed her first job.
And that's when I decided, like, I need to do something.
Anaya developed a mentoring program in Toronto called Cheers, creating hope and ensuring excellent roads to success.
It's been a while since we saw each other.
To help youth in transition, like Vivian and Adang.
So what are your anxieties?
The program pairs former youth in care with ones on their way out.
I just don't feel like other people understand where I'm coming from right now, and they need to give me time and space.
You know, there are resources here at the program that you can always access.
18-year-old Adang is in foster care, but in a few months, she's on her own.
How am I going to mentally prepare myself to be on my own? Like,
now a 5-year, $600,000 grant from Children's Aid Foundation will allow Cheers to expand its reach.
So my vision really is to transform the way youth age out of foster care with life skills. Because when you age out of care, the shock, like, it gets real.
Anaya Fares from Canada.
Anaya's journey brought her all the way here, Buckingham Palace, one of 60 people in the world to accept the Queen's Young Leader Award.
Meeting the Queen was awesome. It was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Eugenia Duodu's story begins in the classroom. Her passion for science started at a young age.
I grew up in a Toronto housing community and I found that I enjoyed science. I loved science. I had teachers who really motivated me and had different learning styles that really inspired me.
That passion led her to a PhD in chemistry.
As I was journeying through science, I realized that I was becoming lonelier and lonelier in my field in terms of my life experience being from housing and being a Black woman.
A square-wheeled car, you guys are gonna make one.
She noticed youth programs in marginalized communities were recreation or arts-based.
So what's your diameter?
But there was a gap in STEM programs: science, technology, engineering, and math.
So I was like, if there's a way that we can bring STEM learning to the forefront in these communities, perhaps the perception of STEM can be different.
What does congruent mean?
Identical in size and shape.
Oh.
She started as a volunteer for Visions of Science, a Saturday program for kids.
They have the freedom to kind of learn and explore, tinker, experiment, make mistakes.
I like coming here because I get to learn new stuff and I get to be with my friend.
I think it's working because there's just no pressure. It's like, this is not about marks. This is not about merit. This is about you genuinely understanding what you're doing and reflecting on it and seeing how that relates to the real world.
You have obtuse and acute. Do you guys know what those are?
Yeah. They're angles.
Oh, they're angles.
And that fun is paying off in the classroom.
And a lot of them have been able to say, yeah, I've gotten better grades in school now. I really want youth to have the opportunity to be at the forefront of groundbreaking research because they can be there, because they have the ability to be there, because they deserve to be there, and their answers can make a difference.
From here to the center.
Visions of Science expanded from 5 locations to 19 in Toronto. And now a new generation of young volunteers from the community are giving back.
I wanted to just give these kids a fun time too. And majority of these kids I've known since they're little.
The volunteers that they come and they feel so connected for the same reasons that I do.
But it was a long road. Encouragement from her community and family pushed Eugenia through moments of doubt.
It's hard to be the only one. I felt like the pressure was different for me than it was for everyone else. That's just how I felt. I want people to look at that photo and just feel empowered to do anything. I feel like that photo represents just what Black women can achieve. And I want people to look at that photo and be like, I can do this.
The hope? These images and their stories will inspire this generation and the next. Tashana Reed, CBC News, Toronto.